Hey, what's up guys, Dan here, and I'm here with a brand new video where I wanted to talk about Season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I guess the future of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime by MAPPA, because it's a very bright future ahead of it. So as many of you know, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 is unfortunately ended this weekend. It's very sad, I know. Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Black Clover are all ending this week. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. It's horrible. But let's get into my thoughts on Season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. So Season 1 covered chapters 1 through 64 of the manga, and that's a lot of chapters to be adapted in one season. In comparison, the first season of the My Hero anime, I think, adapted chapters 1 through 21, and that was only 12 episodes, but Season 2, which was 25 episodes, adapted 49 chapters, and I think it went up to, like, chapter 70. So, in 37 episodes, it adapted 70 chapters, and the Jujutsu Kaisen anime adapted 64 chapters and 24 episodes. That's a lot to condense, but they did an amazing job with it. I really can't think of a single thing that I think they missed out on or that was done poorly in the anime compared to the manga. It was flawless. I think everyone, like, there's not one person that doesn't like this season. It's really just gonna be one of the greatest adaptations I think of all time for any series, especially with the animation. It was absolutely beautiful. I think that's what really made it stick out in people's minds when watching, is like, oh my god, the animation it's flawless. It's just such an amazing thing to watch, similar to Demon Slayer anime. I love that these series are getting filmed quality animation in seasons. It's just amazing. Ever since shonen series started to become like a seasonal thing instead of going for the ongoing with filler and everything, and lower quality production, and like Boruto and Black Clover are right now, and One Piece, but One Piece has gotten better with their ongoing animation and everything. But yeah, it's a cool trend, starting with, I think it was like My Hero that started that trend. I remember when My Hero was announced for the anime for My Hero was announced, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be seasonal. I can't believe it. I thought it was gonna be ongoing, and I was actually kind of disappointed, because there's something about every week consistently throughout the whole year having a series to look forward to. But I mean, if it's production quality like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, I think I'll take that over ongoing. Some of my favorite moments of the animation were Gojo versus Jogo. That was like the first fight where I'm like, oh my god, the animation in this series it's absolutely beautiful, and the fights in this series are just absolutely amazing. Like, it was just such a cool beginning to kick off the series. I think it was like episode 7 or something around there. I also really like Yuji and Todo versus Hanami. I liked Mekamaru versus Panda. I liked Yuji and Nanami versus Mahito. Those fights are, like, I think probably my favorites in the whole series. There's just so many of them though that were super well done, with the animation especially, and the music, the soundtrack for this anime, it's so good. It fits the series so well, the tone. It's like a hip-hoppy kind of like the fights would be like to the beat. That fight with Todo and Yuji versus Hanami was with Black Flash. I mean, come on. It was just so good. Like, I seriously think there were no fights degraded at all. The quality for the animation, they were all so good. I can't get over it. There's really rarely a series where every single moment of the series is beautifully animated. And the shots in the fights, like, there were just so many awesome shots, and the way they move the camera around it. Oh my god, I could go on and on about the choreograph of the fights. And I mentioned the soundtrack a little bit ago, how it was like this cool hip-hop like tracks and things like that when there were like fights going on. And I think it just fits the show so well. There's some cool vocal tracks too that I really liked, and I don't know, the production, as you can tell, I'm very, very impressed with the adaptation for this season, and I don't know, I feel like I could go on and on talking about it. But this will not be a 45-minute video that I have to condense down, so people aren't just like sitting there bored out of their minds from me going on about the same stuff. So let's move on to what I think is going to happen with Season 2 and the future of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime. I'm not going to spoil anything that's going to go on in the future. I'm just going to say like the names of the arc. If you consider a name of the arc maybe as a spoiler, don't watch this part, but it's nothing crazy. So the next arc coming up is Gojo's Past. It's just like a decent 15-chapter arc, and not decent in quality, decent size. The size is very decent, but the quality, my god, it's an amazing arc. And then after that is even a more amazing arc. Can you believe it? Shibuya Incident arc. That one is 58 chapters, so it's a massive arc. So unless they want to condense 73 chapters worth of content into one 24-episode season, which I don't think they will, that's just way too much. They're gonna have to split it up. And there are a few options that I can think of, and there's plenty of more. There's a bunch of combinations, and I might be wrong out of all these, but I wanted to talk about a few of them. They could do like a 12-episode season with Gojo's past completely covered, and then a little bit of Shibuya Incident. And then they can do a 24-episode season of Shibuya Incident alone, and just really take their time, not to speed anything up, don't skip anything, and I think that would be perfect. Considering that the Kyoto Goodwill event was, I think, 23 chapters, and they adapted that into 8 episodes, this option could be done. Or the second option is they just do a 24-episode season like they did for this season, and adapt as much as they can without doing it poorly. You know, don't speed anything up, don't shrink anything down, but adapt like all of Gojo's past arc, and then adapt and find some kind of good stopping point that could be in Shibuya Incident. And then finish up Shibuya Incident in the 12-episode season, so season 3, and I think that would probably work out well. They could also play around with like a weird episode count season like they did with Attack on Titan, how it was 16 episodes, and find like a really good stopping point that would make sense in the Shibuya Incident, so then they don't have to really like box themselves in. But I mean, I'd be fine with that. As long as they're adapting everything properly, that's cool with me. As some of you may know, they just announced a Jujutsu Kaisen movie that's going to be coming out at the end of this year, or like beginning of next year, like January, December, somewhere around there. And it's going to be adapting Volume 0 of the manga, which is excellent. And if you don't know what Volume 0 is, it's basically like a prequel, little like volume to the series, and it has some characters that are in Jujutsu Kaisen and especially relevant in the current last few chapters of the manga and the current arc that's going on in the manga. So it's definitely necessary for the story to understand it. And I originally wrote and recorded this video before they announced officially that this movie was coming out and what the content of the movie was going to be. Originally, there was earlier this week just like a domain that was registered, I think Jujutsu Kaisen-movie.jp or whatever like that. And so I had all speculation on like what it's going to be, which I mean, it was only a few options, like either Volume 0, Gojo's past, or like a anime only thing. But a lot of the stuff I talked about in that video is just basically kind of irrelevant, because it was stuff pertaining to whether or not the movie was going to be based on Volume 0, whether it was going to be on Gojo's past, or whether it was going to be an anime only thing. So now I can like finally just narrow it down to that it is going to be Volume 0 adaptation, which is awesome. I'm really glad that they're actually adapting Volume 0 and not leaving it out, and I'm also glad that they're going to have like a super high quality, hopefully Demon Slayer level kind of movie for it. I'm also really glad it's not going to be taken away from like the season, so it's not going to take up the first like 5 or 6 episodes of the season or something. And the movie's both a good and a bad thing, because it means that we're going to be getting Volume 0 adapted, and that's amazing, and having a movie and going to the theater and seeing it and everything. But it also means we're probably not going to be getting season 2 until like late 2022, early 2023, which really sucks. That's like way more than a year now. Considering how long it took for Demon Slayer, like the first season came out in 2018, then the movie came out last year and it's still not even out in America, and then the next season I think is coming out later this year. So it's been a long journey, like from first season of Demon Slayer to the second season of Demon Slayer has technically been like 3 years. And Mappa's in a bit of an awkward position, I think, because of how long the Shibuya Incident is compared to the other arcs in the series. It's more than double the amount of chapters of the second biggest arc, so that's a lot of chapters. Like Gojo's Past is 15 chapters, and then Shibuya Incident, the next arc, is 58 chapters. That's more than triple. That's almost quadruple the amount of you like my fast math, that's almost quadruple the amount of chapters of the last arc. So that's just kind of weird. However, I'm very confident in Mappa that they're going to be doing a good job adapting the rest of the series, since they adapted season 1 so well. Like I'm just super confident, and I like what they did with Attack on Titan. I like what they've done in the past with a bunch of anime, so I believe in you, Mappa. I believe that you'll do good. So those are my thoughts on season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen and the future of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime. I'm very optimistic, like many people are. I'm so happy it's been such a huge hit. Like with Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen this season, Mappa is on top right now. It's just awesome to see. Oh yeah, and I did do a poll on my channel to see which like series people would be most interested in seeing me make a video on. Jujutsu Kaisen I think got like last, but I wanted to make a video on it the most, so I did anyways. I think Attack on Titan is currently #1, so if you want to have some input on a video that I make in the future, and there's a series that you're really passionate about, go vote. And you can also put, if I didn't list it, you can put it in the comments too. But that's the end of the video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want, and I'll see you guys next time in another video. Bye.